Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I want to talk about the cross-realm trading, and more especially, I want to talk about one thing that a lot of people have mentioned, and this is the possibility of maybe getting a region-wide auction house for everything. As of right now, we have already the region-wide auction house for all the different trading goods and all these different things. But for all the different transmog, maybe like armor pieces, mounts, and all these other items, it's still realm specific. So with this new thing that we will get in patch 10.1.5, which is basically free cross-realm trading for anyone in your region, a lot of people are speculating that Blizzard really wants to push for this region-wide auction house for everything. And so I really just want to share my thoughts on whether I think this could work, what could be the positive effects of having this region-wide auction house for everything, and what could be the negative effects. And also, I want to hear from you, so please let me know in the comments what you think personally. Just before we start, of course, I think it's important to mention the differences between having a region-wide auction house for everything and this new cross-realm trading that will happen in patch 10.1.5. Basically, all the things that you would be able to do with the region-wide auction house for everything will be possible with this free cross-realm trading, but it won't be as easy to do it as if there was an actual auction house to do it. Basically, for instance, if you actually want to farm something on one realm and sell it on another realm, you will be able to do so, but you will actually have to trade this item to someone on this realm directly, which requires you to actually either use a second account to send it on another character that you have on this realm and then sell it on this auction house, or try to find ways to have people contacting you and buying it directly from your realm. So definitely you will be able to still farm tons of items and sell them across so many different realms, but only the people who will be really motivated and willing to put in the effort will be able to actually use this new system at their advantage. For instance, right now, I'm selling items on at least 20 different realms, and I can guarantee you that it takes a lot of time. And even though I'm not selling that much items, it's still a lot of work, and most of the times I don't have the time to go every day on every realm to even just try to repost all the different expired auctions that I have. So if we actually have a region-wide auction house, then it would mean that everyone would be able to do that directly without having to do anything. So it would make it way more easy to actually trade and sell all these different items elsewhere. Now, let's start with, of course, the positives. Positives of having this region-wide auction house are, first of all, for all the players who don't really care about making gold, but who are interested in, for instance, buying transmog items, who are interested in buying PoEs and things like that. With this region-wide auction house, a lot of these items would become way more cheap, and so it would make it way more easy for a lot of players to purchase all these different things. Also, as you can imagine, if you were able to directly post something and everyone from your region was able to buy it, it would make it way easier to sell some very rare items or very expensive items. For instance, I'm thinking again about some of the super rare items from Uldaman, for instance, or some of the really rare patterns and plants that are available. For instance, here, as you see, you have the design for the Elemental Laria. If you were able to actually add this region-wide auction house, it would make it way easier for people to actually sell this type of items. Also, of course, it will allow everyone, especially from the low pop realms, to also make a lot of gold as if they were playing on the high pop realms. And so like that, it would probably encourage a lot of people to simply play on other type of realms and not only on high pop and full pop realms simply because they want to be able to actually purchase and sell items on the auction house, not for a crazy amount of gold. But next to that, there are also a lot of things that I think would make it a complete disaster, in my opinion. First of all, I think for a lot of people, they see a region-wide auction house as an opportunity to kind of have linear prices on every realm, let's say. So for instance, if you take items such as, for instance, here, these cosmetic glasses, as you can see, the lowest price is 399 gold, and the mean price is 30 to 28,000 gold. For a lot of people, they would assume that having a region-wide auction house would probably end up having this value becoming the norm for everyone. Because as you can see, if you go on the auction house, you have a lot of realms where you can actually find them for a lot more than that. But the reality is that for most items on the auction house, it would actually be closer to the lowest available value than the mean value. Simply because the people who are selling these items at a really low value will probably continue to do so. And therefore, with the competition and everything, even though some people will try to buy out these different stocks and to reset the price and have a better price, with all the people who will be eager to try and undercut and be the ones selling the items, probably as soon as someone will try to ruin a market, it will end up actually ruining the market. And then the prices will always be maybe just 1 or 2% of profit, and that's it. So here, for instance, with this example, as you can see on the realm where it's really cheap, it's this one, there are 78 available. And this is a realm where I play on. I've been trying to reset the market, and I can guarantee you, as these are cosmetic glasses that you can craft, these are really easy to craft. So the person keeps crafting more and more and more. So if there was, for instance, a region-wide auction house, the person would just craft hundreds of them and then just continue posting them. And so even if people were trying to reset the market at some point, you just give up. And especially with people who will then undercut and everything on top of that. So this is the first thing that I think a lot of people don't realize. And this is the first reason why I think, honestly, having a region-wide auction house for everything would be really bad for most markets. And I do believe it would be the case for almost every type of items on the auction house. Maybe not the ones that are either, again, unobtainable, very, very difficult to get, such as the elemental Laria, and other type of items that are very, very difficult, again, or very rare. So these type of items would probably remain expensive, and these are probably the only categories of items where people would have more sales and make more gold with. But for any other type of items, I think, unfortunately, the market would probably crash. So for instance, here, if you take this BOE from the latest raid, as you can see, the mean price is 40 to 72,000 gold. But the reality is that on these few realms where it's very cheap, you have so many available for only 12,000 gold, that would probably become the norm. Simply because people wouldn't have the capacity to just buy everything at once, or even though they had, the market at some point would just crash again because people would continue posting them for a very, very cheap price. So this is unfortunately, I think, something that would happen. And this is the reason, the main reason again, why I really hope we are not going to get one of these region-wide auctioneers for everything. Then, of course, there would have the issue of people who are just trying to, for instance, sometimes undercut at crazy amounts to then buy back everything. And I think, unfortunately, for a lot of people, it would happen really easily. And so that's something that will impact a lot of people who are trying genuinely to farm items and then sell them on the auction house, and probably would lose a lot of gold in the process by getting a little bit scammed by people who are using this tool in order to then get these items very cheap and resell them later on for a better price. That's something we've seen, for instance, with the region-wide auction house for materials, and something that still a lot of people are losing dozens and dozens of thousands of gold every day by not paying enough attention to what's happening. It will also make it so difficult for people to actually just post items and then have a chance at getting a sale. Because, while yes, it would mean that you would have way more opportunities to sell your item, you also have way, way more competition. And even just posting your item would already have 5 or 6 people with like a lower price than you. And so it means that you would probably have to spend your entire day undercutting and reposting, undercutting and reposting, because unfortunately you will have people doing that all day long and with a big stock of items. So even if they sell their items, they will probably have more to post. And so like that, you will probably never be able to actually have any sales. So it would make it almost impossible for people to just once or twice a day go on the auction house, post their items, maybe undercut once, and then wait to get a few sales. Then, of course, let's not forget about the bots. There are a lot of bots on the auction house, and it would just make it so easy for them to be the ones always resetting all the prices, to undercut and repost everything. And so I think it would just make it like a real heaven for the different bots. And finally, let's not forget what already happened in the past and what would probably happen again if we add this region-wide auction house. And it's simply the auction house being sometimes completely unavailable, being closed simply because again there are a lot of bugs because it's requires a lot of technical capacity for Blizzard to make it work properly. And so I do think if we actually add this region-wide auction house, it would probably be very messy and very difficult for a lot of people with like not the best connection and everything to interact with. So really, in my opinion, I think having this cross-realm trading is a good option, and I think a region-wide auction house for everything would be a disaster. Again, with this cross-realm trading, people will still be able to do basically everything the same way. It will just require a little bit more efforts. But if you want to farm something on one realm and sell it on another realm, or if you want, for instance, to purchase something at a cheaper price, you will still be able to do so without completely ruining all these different markets and with the different local economies still becoming relevant. So, in my opinion, I think this is a good way for Blizzard to do these different things, the different changes. And I do really hope that we're not going towards this region-wide auction house, even though I'm pretty sure this is something that they kind of are considering right now, and they're trying to see if people are happy with all these different changes. We will have to see and wait to actually find out whether this is what Blizzard has in mind or not. But for now, we'll have to test this region-wide cross-realm trading and see if people are happy with that or not. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether this is something that Blizzard is probably thinking of or not, and whether it would work or not. And also, in general, what you think about all these different changes and the direction that Blizzard is currently taking. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great Sunday. Bye!